Good morning. I'm AnandaKumar, Faculty of English and Soft Skills Training. Once again, I welcome you all to my session Presentation Skills and Techniques, Part 2. So, in this slide, you can see the first point what is the purpose? What is the purpose of giving your presentation? Either technical presentation or non technical presentation. It doesn't matter, but you must know why we are giving or what is the purpose of giving our presentation in front of the audience. So that must be knowing by you. And the second point is for who. So you may be required to give the presentation in front of the audience, but you have to ensure what kind of audience you are going to face while giving your presentation. For example, as a teacher, you have to evaluate your students. The students who are like well off in their language or like well off in their technical knowledge or technical side. So that has to be ensured by the resource person. So you just check it out. The audience. Who is your audience? Then the third point in the slide: what outcomes and reactions are you seeking? So this is a sequential step-by-step process, there is no doubt. While giving your presentation, such things to be noticed, main points are required to make your presentation in a dignified and effective way. It's very important. And the process includes like preparing, creating, checking, rehearsing, refining, and finally finalizing the presentation. So it is a mandatory process before going to deliver your presentation. These are required to complete your presentation in a dignified way. So think about your audience, your aim, their expectations, the surroundings, the facilities available, and what type of presentation which you are going to offer. So that must be noticed. That must be always. Scrutinized or that must be recognized by the audience and as well as by the respective resource person. So it is very important one. Then next we move to consider the more detailed nature of the following points are subject and content. So while giving your presentation, it should be very informative. So subject and content should be reached to the audience without any obstacles. In the sense, it should be an informative one. Audience needs a type of presentation, equipment, and venue. So as I told you already, so no need to once again explain this point particularly. Then next we move to another one: create and gather ideas, brainstorm, mind map, be innovative and daring. So brainstorm is like what we can say, map your ideas. Like you have to analyze which one is main point and which one is subordinate point and which one is further subordinate point. So these things should be always considered. So in order to make your presentation an effective one, so don't forget to follow these things while preparing or during your presentation. The next point is materials, media, exercises, case studies, statistics, petitions, analogies, and participation. So, before choosing your presentation, you just check it out what kind of materials it can be used and whether you are going to give your presentation like a oral presentation or like any media presentation like using PowerPoint or like a laptop or some of the technological platforms are available, so you just think which platform you are going to use. It's very important. Then exercises, case studies, statistic, quotations. So if you feel like the quotations are required, it can be adapted. So it is very important one. The next point is anticipate questions, know your subject and reference points. For example, once if you complete your presentation, if you expect any questions, from the audience, or the audience may arise the questions, you must be thorough. You must be knowing of the subject clearly, so then only you can able to answer, towards the audience questions. So better you equip yourself or like prepare well before going to give your lecture or like presentation. Then the final point is decide your note system, cue cards and sheet notes. So that is according to the person before going to address. Then next one is plan the structure, sections, order, headings, intro, middle, close. So plan structure in the sense, for example, my professor, Dr. George Stephen, who wants to always, start his presentation like this. First and foremost, let me thank God for giving this wonderful opportunity and due respect to my professor, Professor Yusuf. In such a way, you'd like to start and you'd like to make the presentation like in a chronological order. So then only it will be reached to the last row without any obstacles or like confusions. So at the same time, headings are required in order to clarify or classify the things in a clear way. So the second point is consider audience attention span and audience profile to get the language and tone right. So this one is also explained clearly. Then the third point is build the presentation, prepare equipment, prepare materials and probes, create your prompts and notes. These things are as usual one. So build the presentation, prepare equipment, prepare materials like notes or like any PPTs or like any video lectures. So whatever it may be. So that has to be prepared then and there, or like before going to deliver your presentation. The next point is dry run practice timings, fallbacks, such things should be followed by the presenter. Then practice full presentation. So rehearsal is very important because once if you do the rehearsal before going to attain the task, so if you feel any corrections that has to be done or that has to be corrected then and there. So rehearsal is very important to get the feedback or refine and practice and practice. So practice gives you control, there is no doubt. Practice gives you control, control gives you confidence, confidence and control overcome your fear. So what a wonderful point which we are seeing in the slide. Practice gives you control, control gives you confidence, confidence and control overcome your fear. Very good, and there is no need to explain once again the point. So we move with another one. So while certain strategies or or given for the good presenter, so the points are relax. So before going to your presentation, first you relax yourself, relax yourself, it's very important. Then the second point, stress can be managed, and to a small degree it is part of the presentation experience. Obviously stress can be managed, so relax yourself, feel free always. That so which is very useful to control your stress. So that is the second point, and third point is you have prepared and practiced, so your presentation will succeed and be enjoyable. Because so this point should be kept in the mind of each and every presenter in order to make his or her presentation or like to become an effective presenter. So you have prepared and practiced already, so you just keep the same point on your mindset, not in the mind, in the mindset. So your presentation will succeed, be enjoyable. Then smile. It's a wonderful point. Actually, if you want to become like a good presenter, you just keep always smile. It's a good medicine, and moreover, it's like an powerful tool to control or to draw the attention of the audience. So don't forget to keep a smile, or like keep your smile in front of the audience. Then the next point is the audience is on your side, and you just imagine that always the audience are on your side in order to give your presentation uh, successfully. So better you just follow. Then the next point is use a solid, well rehearsed opening, make immediate friendly impact. So for a presentation, opening and closing both are important. I mean, it should be like what we can say. It should be like it should be like a solid one. So without a good opening or without a good closing, your presentation, which will not be considered like a like an effective one. So don't forget to follow. Then next one is use confident body language. Obviously, while giving your presentation, body language, which is always playing 55 percentage of your content. I mean, the content has to be delivered through the body language, like 55 percentage. So don't forget, use the appropriate body language. I mean, use confident body language, control, firmness, and confidence. Speak your audience language. It's very important. So so that venue is not a, I mean, you should not consider that or this is the right platform to show myself like a bombastic personality. That's not the correct one. So better you just understand the audience mentality and as well as their language. According to that, you just change your pedagogy. I mean the teaching methodology, or like I mean your presentation. So the next point is pause when you need to and don't apologize. Actually, if you feel any like if you feel like any inconvenient, better you just give a little pass in order to I mean get the another point. It's very important, but you should not give any long pass. It is not fair. So better you just give a little pass. It is always like what you can see, a supportive one. Then the third point is use audience participation where possible. Be clear, calm, close powerfully and simply and gratefully, and have a fun. Use audience participation where possible. So if you get an opportunity, better you just ask the audience to give their views or like feedback. I mean, you just call them to the dais to give their feedback or like review about your presentation. So it is a wonderful a task to the audience in order to get the feedback. Then be clear, calm, close powerfully, and simply and gratefully, and have a fun. So I think you have enjoyed my session. The topic is, once again I repeat, presentation skills and techniques. So better you just follow all these things to make your presentation, or to become an effective or like a good presenter. Thank you.